guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about how to actually like yourself and why that's like the biggest flex in life. And I will tell you why it's the biggest flex in life. It's because not that many people actually like themselves, okay? Most people, they secretly like hate themselves, okay? That's not funny. Most people don't like themselves. And this is why most people use their ego to try to fill this void, right? When you use your ego, you want fame, you want money, you want status to fill the void of feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, I don't really like myself. So those types of people like overcompensate. Like with popularity, with like social clout, like Instagram, with trying to get a lot of money, with trying to buy nice bags, or all of this is just like trying to fix an internal problem with an external solution, and that does not freaking work. So instead of honestly wasting your time and your money and doing all these things to like feel good enough, like feel whole, feel complete, and like yourself, it's smarter and easier to just do the inner work first. Like work on yourself on the inside so that you don't have to overcompensate by buying nice bags, showing off to people, getting validation from other people. Because I don't know, at the end of the day, once you like yourself, you don't really care that much about what other people think of you. And you will literally start to think, wow, this is so dumb. Like, why was I trying to seek validation from this person? It's definitely a journey, but as a person who built up her sense of self-worth, and confidence, I will tell you the things that personally helped me. But the thing that really helped that I started doing recently is, you know that there are 5 different love languages, okay? There's acts of service, physical touch, positive affirmation, quality time, and there's also one more. I will put it in the screen here. But there is 5 of them, and once you realize like how you feel the most love, like how you feel loved when you're receiving something, whether that's like if you feel the most love when you receive words of affirmation or gifts or quality time, you're going to know how to love yourself, okay? Because loving yourself is so big, it's so broad, and honestly it takes sometimes years. There's so many things that you can do to quote unquote love yourself, but this way is super nice because you're gonna know how you feel the most loved, how you receive love, because sometimes how you give love and how you receive love is different, and your love languages will change over the years. So once you know, like you can do like a free test online, and you are gonna know like your love languages, so you're gonna be able to give yourself the love that you actually want. Okay, for me, mine is words of affirmation. Okay, before I knew this, I would be so freaking hard on myself. You know how everyone is like their own biggest bully, thinking, oh my god, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done that. Well, now that I knew that, oh my god, my love language is words of affirmations, I stopped doing that. I cut that out. I mean, people should cut that out in general, but especially since I know that my love language is words of affirmation, now I think to myself, like, I'm like my biggest hype woman. Like, I will hype up even the smallest freaking things, but like the smallest things in my day. Like, oh my god, like I got up on time, I'm doing so good, I'm doing so good in this, I'm doing so good in that. It's like recognizing myself and like cheering myself on. I take it a step further because you know how like people send like love letters to their significant others. I guess people don't do that much anymore, but when people do that, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna do that for myself because I know that my love language is words of affirmation. So I will literally write like a love letter to myself. Oh my god, I'm so proud of you for doing this, I love this about you, I love that about you. Like literally being my own biggest cheerleader. And it's like you can tailor how you create your relationship with yourself, like with these love languages. If you know that you feel loved like with gifts, buy yourself really nice things, sentimental things. If you know quality time is how you feel loved, spend quality time with yourself. Acts of service, like make your room really nice and pretty and like nice for yourself. But it's like you are in charge of your own relationship with yourself, and that's one of my favorite ways to, I don't know, like build a positive relationship with myself, because then you're going to start to enjoy spending time with yourself, honestly, once you build a positive relationship with yourself. Okay, another thing that's really helpful is just like changing your view of yourself, okay? Because really, when you don't like yourself, you have a negative view of yourself. You are paying attention too much to the negative aspects about yourself and not enough on the positive aspects of yourself. Because everyone has negative and positive things, but it's like people with high sense of self, high self-esteem, and people who respect themselves, they're not paying attention that much to the things that are going wrong. They're not paying that attention that much to the things they don't like about themselves, because everyone has weaknesses, everyone has faults, everyone makes mistakes. Okay, that's just part of life. The people who really like themselves, who have high sense of self, high self-esteem, they're putting 98% of their energy into how they like themselves, like the things that are going right, basically. They have a half glass full mentality about themselves, about who they are as a person, how they show up, how they're showing up in their life. And so it's like they have a positive view of themselves. And in order to get a positive view of yourself, you need to start looking at the things that you are doing right. So before, when I struggled with this, I would be paying attention so much on what I'm not doing while I'm not here. Other people are making more money than me. Other people are here. Other people are there. And just like downplaying like my own successes, the things that I am doing, my own talents. And that's wrong. That's super, super wrong, because the most important thing that you have in life is like yourself, but it's also your perception of yourself. Because you can be like the sharpest knife in the world, but if you don't recognize that, you're not gonna be able to do anything. Okay, maybe that's a stupid analogy, but like if you can be super smart, super talented, super ambitious, super hardworking, but if you don't recognize all these good qualities, you're not gonna have the motivation to take any action on it. And it's like, it really is like who you are as a person is it's like the biggest asset in the world. Okay, it is. In this life, you are your biggest assets. So you need to have a good a good perception of yourself. And the way I started shifting that is just, like I said, by being my own biggest cheerleader, like looking at myself in a way of glass half full. What is going right in my life? Where am I at now that is actually good? Because obviously, whatever you focus on grows. So you want to grow like a positive sense of self, a positive positive image of yourself, positive self-enforcement. But like you want to focus on all the good things that are going right and good things that are going right in who you are as a person, and that's just going to keep on growing. It's just in the beginning that's hard because you're so trained to like think negatively about yourself, negatively about your life, that you don't know how to think positively. Once you start seeing and looking for things that are positive about yourself, things that are positive about your life, it's going to keep on growing. Okay, because your brain is made to look for patterns. Okay, it's once you tell it, it's a computer, so once you tell it, hey brain, can you find all the good things about myself, then you're going to be looking for beliefs that like back that up. So it's the same thing when you are telling your brain, oh, like look for all the bad things, you're going to keep on finding evidence of things of you not being good. Tip that I think is super helpful that honestly a lot of people don't say. I feel like when we get into like self-development, people are always like focus on yourself, focus on yourself, focus on yourself. But I feel like a sign of really high sense of self-love and self-respect is cultivating positive relationships and finding people who understand you, who know you, and who you feel good around. Okay, why? Because honestly, all of our relationships are a mirror, to be honest with you. So when you go too much into self-development and you start isolating yourself, that's a sign of one, depression. But two, if you are actually trying to love yourself and show up better for yourself, your relationships are like a really big sign and a really big key on how much you love yourself. Because they're a reflection of what you're tolerating in your life, but they're also a reflection, relationship, like you can only grow so much like by yourself, right? Like you will learn a lot more about yourself like when you're showing how you're showing up with other people, maybe your insecurities, things like that, when you're in a relationship, platonic or romantic. But it's like you're gonna be able to like know way more about yourself, because relationships are a mirror. Like whatever is happening inside is gonna show up, and it's gonna show up on the outside. People who love themselves, like they tend to have positive relationships. And also when you have positive relationships and you have people who love you, who support you, who see the good in you, who like you feel good around, you're naturally going to feel better about yourself, if that makes sense. Like if you really, really like yourself, there's going to be a correlation of high value like relationships. People who see you, who understand you, who love you, who treat you kindly. And if you are struggling with your sense of self, how you view yourself, you're going to tolerate a bunch of people who don't see you, who don't understand you, who are speaking bad about you, and you're going to see a bunch of shitty relationships. Versus if you do like yourself, you're going to see the opposite. It's going to be reflected on the outside with positive relationships. So the reason why I think this is important to like yourself more is because, one, it gives you a gauge of kind of where you're at in your self-love, self-confidence kind of journey. Also, two, relationships is what makes us human. So you can't fully love yourself 100% by yourself. You need to have connection. You need to have people who love you and who support you as well. And that's going to help you. Like once you feel love in your life, even if it's from a friend, it's going to amplify the love that you feel for yourself. Like you're going to just have in general more love for yourself, more kindness for yourself. And a lot of times, especially if you are struggling with like self-esteem or confidence and liking yourself, you're not going to be able to see all of the good things about yourself because you're so used to seeing the bad things and paying attention to the bad, like I said before. So when you have like friends who love you, who care about you, they're going to see you in like a good way because you're only friends with people that you like. So they're going to see all the good qualities about yourself, the things that they like about you, and they're able to highlight that. And that used to happen to me, like, oh my God, Jude, you're so this, you're so that, you're so that. And when you're so used to just living your life, or you're not hyping yourself up all the time, you're not recognizing those good traits. So it's good to be in positive relationships. Another thing that's super, super helpful for me when I was just building like a positive relationship with myself was having like a journal. Like having like, for me, journaling is super, super powerful because it helps me like process my emotions, but it's also like quality time with yourself. Like I know people say, oh, I'm spending time by myself, but I'm just on, like, you're just on your phone. Like if you're on your phone, you're not getting to understand yourself more. You're not spending quality time with yourself. So it's not intentional time with yourself. So I love freaking journaling because I find it to be such a powerful way to like spend time with yourself, get to know yourself more, like yourself, process your emotions, like all those things. And also the people who know themselves the most, like you will be able to like yourself more. Like because once you're self-aware, once you know things about yourself, positive things, like you're able to walk the world like with a stronger identity, stronger purpose, stronger confidence because you really know who you are. So I hope this video helped and you got some nice tips out of it, and let me know because I will definitely make more videos because this is fun. Maybe I will do a vlog.